In episode 3, David is called down to the basement to meet with Sue, and he grabs Joe to bring her along. And Sue is basically the buffer between MQ's players and the people who actually make the game. So this woman deals with a lot of shit. And she lets David know that MQ is going to be on the cover of this very popular gaming magazine, and initially David is thrilled until he learns the reason why. It's because MQ is the #1 game for white supremacists. And this is a slight issue with David. So David calls Poppy to a meeting, but she doesn't really want to go because she's about to unveil her new feature called Dinner Party. Even though the concept of a dinner party kind of goes over her head since she's never been to one, and it becomes obvious of that. But the whole premise of it is you can do a meetup, basically, with a bunch of your friends in the game. So Joe is sent down to go grab Poppy, who is in the middle of this dramatic reveal, and Joe takes it upon herself to just press the button and release it. And in this meeting, you got Brad, Joe, David, Poppy, and CB. And initially, they're talking about what to do with the Nazis, but then it gets brought up, maybe we keep the Nazis because everybody needs a bad guy. Although David is firm in his stance, let's get rid of the Nazis. David wants CB to write up an apology, and all that Poppy's concerned about is dinner party, although nobody cares with this Nazi issue going on. And then Brad brings up the point of, well, how's it going to look if we start kicking out the Nazis? I mean, where do we draw the line here? It's just not going to look great if a straight white man is the one who's making the decisions on who stays and who goes. So they decide to get a diverse group together to figure out who stays and who goes. They want some females on this panel other than Joe, so they go to the testers and they get Dana, but of course, Rachel doesn't want to feel left out and she wants to come too, although they let her know, your demographic's kind of been filled. And that's when she pipes up, all right, well then fine, I'm gay. And since they don't have any knowingly gay people on their panel, they decide to let her stay. So this panel includes Brad, David, Joe, Rachel, and Dana. And after going through a ton of groups, including Patriots fans, people that quote the mask, 9/11 truthers, I mean, it really runs the gamut. But they realized that they would be kicking out 90% of their game players. Now, CW has returned with the apology that he's written up for the company, and they realized they could use his age demographic in this meeting. So what they decided to do is do a March Madness type bracket of all of these groups to figure out who to kick out. Now, they're not the only ones that are trying to figure out what to do about the Nazis, because Ion is also trying to figure out what to do about them, and he's decided to take a different approach. He's trying to put things in the game that they would gravitate towards to flush them out. Things that are really close to Nazi symbols, but not quite. And he's actually gone so far to have a programmer named Melissa, who's kind of Poppy's rival, put the Nazi salute in the game to which they can say it's a glitch. And Poppy is very against this, but so is Sue from the basement. At this point, she just doesn't want any more articles from any more magazines, and she just wants the Nazis gone. And as Ion is trying to think of a better way to do this, he gets an alert on his phone that's saying that Poppy has gone live introducing Dinner Party. And it's a really painful introduction to Dinner Party, but she has set up a dinner party for a peaceful protest against the Nazis. And the peaceful protest using Dinner Party seems to have worked because a lot of people did show up, and Poppy's patting herself on the back. But Melissa says, hold on a second, I'm watching another dinner party, and it's the Nazis coming to slaughter you guys. And since Poppy's group is a peaceful protest and they didn't have any weapons, they get slaughtered pretty quickly. But because of this, and because of Dinner Party, they were able to figure out who the Nazis were, and they only thought they had a few, but they had something like 4,000 of them. So while initially Poppy is down about Dinner Party, Ion lets her know that no, it was actually great. I'm able to put all of them in an echo chamber. And as they're celebrating this, Brad comes in from the conference room and says, you know what, I've decided to kick out all of the Nazis, but they've already taken care of it. They put all the Nazis on a separate server and are literally letting them yell into a black hole without them knowing it. Thank you for watching this recap. If you do not see the next one up in the corner right there on the end screen, don't worry, it'll be up shortly. Please consider following the channel. That'd be cool. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you don't, there's a thumbs down button for a reason.